Hi, and thank you so much for joining. Today we're going to talk about what does a Beachbody coach actually do? You probably have lots of questions just like I did in the beginning when I started out. My name is Holly Hierman and I have been actively working as a Beachbody coach, or you can say an independent distributor for the company Beachbody since the year 2008. It's been one of the most powerful, positive decisions that I've ever made. But I know if you're anything like me, you probably have a lot of questions. Well, what do you do? It's kind of like if you were signing up for college for the first time, you probably had lots of questions. All you knew when you joined for each college course was the title, maybe a brief description, and you didn't actually know, well, what am I going to be doing each day? What is my commitment? How much time is this going to take? So you probably have a lot of these same questions, just like you would with any other type of a career, of how hard is this going to be? Is this something that's right for me? And what the heck am I going to be doing? I totally know how you feel. So let me go ahead and answer some of those questions. This may seem so simplistic, but it is very simple. And I think as human beings, we tend to really overcomplicate things. We tend to try to figure out how we're going to navigate the entire staircase when all we need to do is focus on the very first step. Once we get there, focus on the very next step. So as a Beachbody coach, one of the very first things that we're going to expect and ask you to do, and the only reason why we say this is a requirement is because there have been many others that have come before who have figured it out. And if you know, just like anything else, success leaves tracks, right? There is a formula. There is a typical series of events that will lead you to create success in anything that you do, right? So there's always an order to do things. And the cool thing about having a business like this, you have lots of flexibility, but I want to try to clear some of the confusion for you. Number one, we're going to say work on yourself. We're going to say positive personal development. That's going to come in the form of maybe video training, maybe podcasts, and possibly reading as well. But we'll provide the tools necessary for you to fuel your mind, your brain, and honestly, fuel yourself with the necessary tools in order to do a business like this. We know that everybody starts at ground zero. We know that you don't know what to do. And that's one of the reasons why you're watching this video, is because you're trying to figure out, what is it that I do? Number one, you're going to work on yourself. You're going to work on yourself as far as your motivation goes, as far as your personal development. You're going to hear that term a lot because you need to start changing yourself from the inside out. The other thing that we ask you to do is walk the talk. So we are a health and fitness business. That does not mean that you have to be a fitness model. That does not mean that you have to be at your end result, that you need to be at your after. In fact, the times that I've experienced the biggest growth in my business is when I was trying to lose the 50 pounds from my first son and the 35 pounds after my second son. And that's when people were able to relate to me a little bit more. When I started my business, I already was at my after. So it was harder for people to relate to me. This is a health and fitness business, and one of the main draws that people are going to have to you is because they need a solution for their health, their wellness, or maybe even potentially weight loss, or something that is really, really plaguing them with their health. Okay, so we're gonna say walk the talk. And that, like I said, you don't have to be a super crazy fitness person. You don't have to teach classes or be a personal trainer. All you have to do is be active as you can be, in whatever capacity you can be, because just trust me, that people are going to be able to identify with you in a way that they're not able to identify with me or someone else that joins this business. There are lots of people out there, and trust me, there are people who need people like you. The other thing that we're going to do as a Beachbody coach is you try the products and you share what you really like. You share the things that work for you. Now, it is completely unrealistic to believe that you can have a business and not actually use any of the products, not actually use any of the programs. That would be like if you owned a Toyota company, but you drove Ford products, only cars. So I hope that you understand the correlation there. You want to use the products so that you can tell people, I have a solution for that in this way. Oh, this really worked well for me. It's kind of like, I don't want you to necessarily think of yourself as a salesperson. I want you to think of yourself as somebody who is a customer who recommends the things that work for you. Not every single program I can do. Not every product works for me. I don't do all of the Beachbody products, and I don't do all of the Beachbody programs. I find the ones that work for me, and those are the ones that I recommend to people. But if somebody asks me, hey, what do you think about this program? Even if it's not something that I am familiar with or I have done in the past, we have a whole slew of online resources, tools, videos where you can find information about that specific product, program, and then you can share it with someone. So that is mainly what we do, is we share solutions. We share solutions. People are looking for answers. We're looking for solutions. We're looking for better ways to do things. And so you have that at your fingertips, literally. At your fingertips, you have the ability to start recommending some products. You might not necessarily use them, but as long as you are, we call that being a product of the product, as long as you are yourself working on your health, working on your fitness, working on yourself, that is truly being a product of the product. And therefore you have a lot of stake, and you can say, this is the company that I own, because when you become a Beachbody coach, you do own a company. And once you start looking at it as you are a business owner, then things will start moving in that direction. So you say, these are the products that I take ownership in. These are some of the things that we recommend. Here are the ones that are my favorites. You can always go there too. So what else do you do as a Beachbody coach? Of course, you can share what your experience has been with the business side of things. You can build a team of people should you choose to, which leads me right into the next huge question that I get all the time was, well, how do you actually make money? There are lots of different ways to make money, but put in the simplest form, there are two major ways that you can make money. Of course, the first one is through sales and commissions. Anything that anyone purchases from you, you'll make 25% of, but you also save 25% of anything that you purchase as well. And the other way that you can earn a substantial income, and this is where I see by far the hugest potential. In fact, the majority of my income for since 2008 has come from what we call a team cycle bonus. This comes from you building a team of people who are enthusiasts just like you. Maybe they want to build a business. Maybe they just want a discount on the products. That's okay. Whatever the case may be, by you bringing other people into your business as distributors as well, that we call them coaches, then they are added to your network, into your team. And what's cool about that is you can earn a bonus off of the entire team. There is a ton of ways to earn. Like I said, there's lots of different, every time you come up a level, then you get to kind of unlock a new earning potential. But those are the two major ways, of course, through commissions, and the second way is through building a team. I would estimate that 90% of our income has come from building a team. And I don't add a ton of coaches every single year. My first year, I put in about 30 coaches, but each and every month, maybe one or two coaches a month. It's slight. It's not anything astronomical, but that's been where the bulk of my earning income has come from. About 90% has come from what we call a team cycle bonus. And that is based on a percentage from the people who are on your team, as well as the people that they bring in, any commissions that they get, any purchases that they have too, you'll get credit for that as well. So that is in a nutshell, number one, what do you do as a coach? And then number two, how can you earn as a coach? And those are probably my two most common questions. So feel free to subscribe, or if you like, you can go ahead and send me a private message. I'd be happy to answer more of your questions. Have a fantastic day.